GFS, this is Tyler and welcome to GFS Talks. I hope you're all having a great week. I hope everyone heard our last episode and we had some very cute and smart guests on if you've missed it. You can find it on the Founders website. For today, we not only have 2 teacher interviews coming up, but there's also a few seniors in the recording room right now. I hope you enjoy what we've got to say, and I'll see you soon. Hello and good morning, GFS. My name is Maha from 13C, and today I have the honor of interviewing Ms. Lorenza and Mr. Jeremy, and I'm sure our listeners today are thrilled that I'm speaking to members of GFS staff and how their contributions as teachers and leaders are vital to our school community. So without further ado, let's begin. To start off, could you please introduce yourself and the role you have here at GFS?
Okay, my name is Jeremy Grigg, and my role is English teacher and development leader here at GFS.
Great. So Mr. Jeremy, you have joined our school community quite recently and are also my A-level English language teacher. And from personal experience, I can confidently say you're a great teacher. So what is one thing that surprised you and something you weren't expecting about being a teacher here and leader here at GFS?
Something that's really excited me and impressed me is the enthusiasm, the all-round enthusiasm of everyone that is part of the school community. And that goes from the people you see when you walk in the door, the students in the classroom, the teachers' attitude to teaching you and improving, and the excitement about learning all around, really. And that's really, really impressed me, because that isn't the case in every school that I've ever worked in. So it's a really positive, exciting first impression of Founders.
That's amazing. That's great. I'm sure our listeners are excited to learn more about you as an individual outside of school. So what is one thing you love to do in your free time and why?
I like to be active. I like to be outside. So you might find me in the desert, walking around, getting sand in my shoes, or you might find me on a bike around Al Qudra, trying to keep up with some of the other GEMS Founders staffs that are a lot faster than me, so I don't stand much chance of that. So I like to be active, I like to be outside, and I think Dubai and the UAE is an amazing place to be, to enjoy, the Hatta Mountains, Al Mamoon Desert, Al Qudra cycling track. It's a wonderful place for somebody who likes the outdoor lifestyle to live.
I think the desert is a great activity to do, especially here in the UAE. Could you please tell us one piece of advice that was given to you in the past that you still live by today, and something you'd like to share to the people, students listening?
That's an interesting question. I don't know whether to respond with a personal or professional response. My dad said something to me once, which was quite interesting, when I didn't get some exam results that I was expecting, and I was quite upset by it. And he asked me where I wanted to be. He said, where did I see myself? Where did I want to get to? And he made the point, because I was going on holiday at the time, so I was going to the airport, and he made the point that there are many different ways to get to the same destination. So I thought that was a really good piece of advice. So, if life throws you some curveballs, there's more than one way to get somewhere. So you shouldn't be put down by any setbacks you might have. So I like that advice, that there are plenty of ways to get to the same place, I think.
I think that's a great piece of advice, and I'm sure students, more than anyone ever, needs that advice. Okay, last question. What does our school vision, grow, flourish, succeed, mean to you?
I think it's an amazing vision for a school to have. So for me, growth is all about the conditions needed for learning, needing for the right environment, if you like. So if you think of a seedling, for example, it needs the right conditions to be able to grow. So grow for me is the constant state of flux we're in, the kind of inevitable change that happens in many ways. And then moving on to flourish, for me that is the activity. It's almost like it's an active stage for me where there's a real flourishment where the growth is actually happening, and it's the things that are happening after that the conditions for the growth have been set up. So I really like the HPL philosophy and this idea that all of the ACPs they are how flourishing happens. So it's the process, if you like, in action. And then the success is a really interesting concept for me, because often people see this idea of success as the end product, and there's the connotations that that's it. But I don't see success like that. I think success can be more subjective than that. So it's not just about what happens at the end. So, okay, exam results, for example, might be one measure of success. But then success is about the process, the consciousness of that process. And even if you do look at success in terms of exam results, then what next? So if you think about, take an athlete or an Olympian, just because they won an Olympic gold medal, they don't just then stop because they've had that concept of success. They keep going and going and improving. They're more conscious of the process. They're reflective. So for me, that's how I see the learning journey. The growth is the environment. The flourishing in the class is about the active learning, because we don't want to have these kind of like passive learners where people just sit and remember notes and regurgitate them. We want that to be an exciting, enthralling process. And then for me, like I said, the success is that it's not just the end result. It's about the consciousness of that, how that is used, how that's seen, how that's viewed, and how that helps people to move forward and kind of reflect on their journeys as well. So I see it as the whole learning journey, if you like.
Thank you so much, and I definitely agree with you that success is all subjective, and every person's definition of success is different. So yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Jeremy. To start off, could you please introduce yourself and the role you have here at GFS?
Hello, my name is Miss Florenza Spinola, and I'm an assistant principal here at GFS.
Great. So Miss Florenza, you have been with GFS since the beginning, and you've been a part of the incredible journey we as a school have taken. What is one major difference you see here at GFS today compared to the very first year it ever opened?
There are a few differences that I see now, and I suppose the first one is the many new faces. With our growth, it's brought many new students to our school, many new teachers, support staff and parents. So lots of new faces and lots of people to get to know in our community, which has been lovely.
Amazing. I'm sure our listeners are excited to learn more about you as an individual outside of school. So what is one thing you love to do in your free time, and why?
In my free time, I've got 2 boys, so I spend a lot of time with my family, and we're out and about. Recently, we've been loving to go visit Expo. That's been awesome. But I love the beach too, so I love to swim and paddleboard and eat lots of amazing food. And the diverse cultures that are here in Dubai, it makes it a really exciting place to try lots of different food.
I definitely agree with you with the food part. I'm a big foodie myself, so great place for different food. Could you please tell us one piece of advice that was given to you in the past that you still live by today?
I think the biggest piece of advice that I was given, and I can't actually remember who gave me this piece of advice, but it's definitely something I've lived by for a long time, and that is don't ever be too embarrassed to ask questions. So any meeting that I go into or any situation that I'm in, if I don't fully understand, I'm not too shy to put my hand up, because chances are there's somebody else sitting in that same group that hasn't fully grasped it either. So it's always good to just be really clear before you leave any situation that you fully understand, and don't be too embarrassed, because 9 times out of 10 there's somebody else there that also doesn't understand and is actually really relieved that you're the person that put your hand up and said, I don't get it, please explain one more time.
And I'm sure the students can relate to that in a classroom situation. Sometimes students are too timid to speak up and ask questions. So I do think that's a great piece of advice that I will be taking on as well. Last question. Where did the idea of Grow, Flourish and Succeed come from?
So Grow, Flourish, Succeed started way back in the very first week of opening the school. Before we had any students actually in the school, the building was very new, and it was a very small group of staff at the time, and Mr. Matthew and Miss Jan led the session, and they were saying, like, you know, we need to come up with our vision for the school. Who are we? What do we want our school to be about? And they put it to the team, so the teaching staff at the time, and we just brainstormed as a group. You know, what did it mean to us as educators? What's important to us? What did we want founders to be? And so there were lots of different ideas put together. And actually, what happened was we all kind of submitted some ideas, and then it got put to a vote, and we all agreed that the Grow, Flourish, Succeed was what we wanted to go with and the most powerful. And I think we talked about some of the changes that the school has gone through over the years, and they've been some physical changes, things that I can see. There's the new faces, there's the change in school uniform. So when we first opened in the first year, we were given a school uniform to open with, but I had the pleasure of supporting the school develop its own school uniform and involving students in that process and teachers for their opinion too. Most recently, we've introduced high performance learning, and initially we started looking at learning skills through the Learning Hive. So some of our students that have been with us for a long time will remember the Learning Hive, and we've tried to merge the two and evolve that into the high performance learning, the HPL Hive. But these are really physical changes. The common thread that we've had from the beginning is the Grow, Flourish, Succeed. And I would say, yes, we've changed and grown over the 6 years and been massively successful, but we still, to me, feel very much the same. I think the culture of the school, the environment for our students, the culture of our teaching staff still remains the same as it is in year one. The passion that we have for our students and our learners to grow, flourish, succeed is still exactly the same as what it was in year one. And I think that's our common thread in what keeps us founders and keeps us the very special place that I think we are.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Ms. Florenza. This was very insightful for me, and I'm sure the students listening, it was just as insightful for them. So thank you.
Thank you, Maha.
Hello, my name is Venika Jani, and later on we'll be having Riti Tingra with us. This week, GFS Talks is looking at the topic Changes Throughout GFS. So currently, we have 4 primary students joining us to talk about their time here at GFS. To start us off here, we have Samira from 4D and Gianna from 4N. They've been with us in GFS for quite a while now. They're going to share their views on how GFS has grown over the years. Alright, so the first question is, how has the school changed from the time you joined to now?
Well, I know that there are lots of more new classes, and it's like has more room, bigger classes. Yeah.
All right, and Samira?
And for me, it's that the school has added more places and it's gotten much more big.
All right. All right then, Samira, what is your favorite room in the school?
My favorite room in the school is the library because there's lots of books to read and you can take one home every week.
Alright, that's really nice. Okay, and then the next question is, how have your teachers changed over the years?
So recently I just got a new teacher, Miss Abby. So sometimes before we start a new lesson, Miss Abby makes us play games like Simon Says.
Alright, Samara, what about you?
So for me, it's that every year when I change my teachers get even more and more fun. Even though the lessons are harder, they get more fun. Like Mr. John lets us have fun activities during lessons and he makes learning fun.
Alright, that's really nice. Then, what is the best thing you remember happening in school while you were here?
Well, the best thing that's happened is I was really happy when in year 2 I got my first gem of the week.
Alright, and Samara?
And for me, it was when in year 4, on National Day, we played lots of fun activities. So that was the most fun day for me.
That's really nice again. So now to end it, what do you think the best part of GFS is?
Well, the best part of GFS is for me when we have playground time. It's really fun and you get to play with your friends.
So what type of games do you play in the playground?
Sometimes we play tag, so we run and then, yeah.
That's nice. And Samara, what about you?
For me, it is when we get to discuss with our friends in the library about which book we're reading.
So what's your favorite book till now?
My favorite book till now is Matilda.
Matilda. That's really nice. Thank you so much, Samara and Gianna, for joining us today. I hope you all had fun.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Hello, I'm Jyoti Dhingra, and now we have the newer students who joined this academic year with us. Kabir from 4D and Naila from 4N are going to share their experiences with GFS. So Kabir, how is GFS different from your older school?
My teacher is more funny in GFS, and when I work in GFS, I feel more tired.
Yeah? Who is your teacher this year?
Mr. John.
And how does he make the lessons fun?
He makes us laugh.
Yeah? What about you, Naila? What do you think?
So they use more passwords than my old school. And my teachers are very funny. Some teachers let us play after finishing lessons.
Yeah? So what was your first thought when you came to GFS? How were your friends? What did you think about it?
I was actually very excited and a bit nervous.
Yeah? What about you, Kabir? How did you feel?
In the school, I felt happy and excited.
So what are some differences you see between, your older school and then this school? What are the main differences?
So in older schools, sometimes we only play inside or we don't play at all. And sometimes we have to go to the lessons and teachers don't actually come to our class except for Arabic.
Okay. What do you see different in?
However, in GFS, teachers come to our classrooms.
Yeah? What about you, Kabir? What is the main difference you see between your old school and this school?
My friends are more nicer to me in GFS. And in my old school, my friends didn't talk to me that much.
So what do you both think the best part of GFS is?
That lessons are fun, and usually our new teacher makes the lessons fun and she makes funny noises.
What's your teacher's name?
Her name's Miss Abby.
Yeah, do you like Miss Abby and Mr. John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think the best part is, Kabir?
I think the best part is when we go outside to play and when the teacher gives us golden time.
So did you guys like being on the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah? Do you want to come again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that concludes our segment with the primary students. It was great to hear all their different opinions on the changes and developments of our school. It was a pleasure to have Samara, Kabir, Gianna, and Naila on this week's episode of the podcast. We hope to get a lot more of you on here as well. We would love to hear what you all have to say. Thank you. We hope you have a great day ahead.
Hi, I'm Sinala Sunil from Year 13B, and I will be interviewing two of my friends, Tyler Haribans, who's been here since Year 8, and Rehan, who's joined just last year. So Tyler, what do you think you will miss about school this time next year?
Definitely the community and my friends because they are very caring and throughout the years that I've been here, they have been basically like family to me, and it's kind of like I'm being independent from them now, which is also kind of scary, because when you're going out into the new world, you don't really know that many people, but I guess it's something that I have to overcome.
What about you, Ray?
Last year was fully online, so I didn't get to see many people. But this year, it's like I'm basically the new kid, but I feel like everyone's been welcoming me very well, and they've taken me in as one of their peers, and I feel very grateful for that. So I'm gonna miss the friendships and the connections I've made this year.
So Tyler, what's something you want to take away from your time at GFS? Something you would like to remember?
It would definitely have to be the resilience I've used in terms of exams and COVID. It has had a really negative impact on students, not only me, but a lot of students. So I guess it would be really useful for me in the future, and it's a really positive thing that has happened.
You have been here for a very short time, Rehan, so what's something you would like to take away from your time at GFS?
Something I'd like to take away. I mean, hopefully the education that I've learned. I would like to keep that intact. But otherwise, I feel like the social aspect of being in a school and being around people has made me more open to talking, because I used to be a very closed, quiet person. But I feel like I've become more open this year, more social, you could say, and I feel like I want to take that away from this year.
You've been here 5 to 6 years now, Tyler. What does it feel like for you to be with all these people for so many years, knowing it's just a few months till you won't see them again?
Well, as I said, they're like family to me, these people. I've known them for a long time, and I've had all these connections with them, especially Shaden and everyone. And it's really, really, really sad to be saying goodbye to everyone, especially some of the teachers, like Miss Gurpreet and Mr. Kevin. I'm definitely gonna miss them a lot.
What about you, Ray? You haven't been here a very long time, but considering COVID and the situation now, what's the difference?
I feel like I've made strong connections. For the short time I've been here, I feel like I've made strong connections with the people who are in my year, and I feel like I've made a good friend group that I will hopefully remain in contact with down the line.
What's something you would like to say to we are the highest tier at school. What's something you would like to tell the younger years?
As it's easier said than done, I'd say don't stress out too much, because I feel stress can be really dangerous mentally and can be really deteriorating to one's mental health. So I'd say just don't stress everything out and just go with the flow, and you'll be okay.
I think the listeners should take away that your years in school are probably some of the best years you're going to have, because after school you are on your own. You have to become a responsible adult.
Mm-hmm.
So being in school and being around friends and teachers who are always there to support you and guide you and keep you company, I feel like you should embrace every moment you have in school.
Okay, thank you so much, Tyler and Rehan, for coming on the podcast.
Of course.
And we hope the listeners really enjoy this one.
Thank you. Hi, this is Rehan from Year 13, and that is the end of our episode today. We worked really hard to bring the authentic voice of GFS to you, so we hope you had as much fun as we did. If you want to take part in the podcast, feel free to contact the senior interviewers from today. As always, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.